Welcome to the Explainer. Today we're tackling a fascinating and, let's be honest, sometimes really painful dynamic that pretty much hits all of us every single day. We're talking about the totally destructive power of impulsive speech. Those words that just escape your mouth before you can even catch them. Contrast that with the beauty of truly intentional words. So we're going to explore why a simple, deliberate pause might just be the absolute most powerful, life-saving tool you can have in your communication toolkit. Let's dive in. So here's the big question. Why exactly is our mouth so much faster than our mind? It's a question we've literally all asked ourselves, usually right after one of those wince-inducing foot and mouth moments, right? Our big idea for this journey is actually super simple, but man, it is incredibly hard to master. It's the idea that repeating practical grounded wisdom is exactly how we ingrain the habit of pausing. We literally have to train our brains to hold back that initial impulsive spark. Section 1. The power of our words. Papa Q Bear's automotive wisdom. To lay the groundwork here, we look to the author of our source newsletter, affectionately known as Papa Q, and the guiding philosophy passed down from his late father. You see, my dad, Papa Q Bear, seemed to always have a good saying for the practical things in life. His cornerstone piece of advice was simply this: put your mind in gear before you put your mouth in motion. He didn't deliver this as some stern, finger-wagging lecture. It was more like a gentle chuckle and a warm hand on the shoulder. Now, doing this is hard to do, so repetition of the phrase is a good thing so it becomes ingrained in you. I absolutely love this because it perfectly illustrates human communication using an old automotive metaphor. Think about driving a classic manual transmission car. You absolutely have to engage the mental clutch before you just slam your foot down on the verbal accelerator. If you don't, the gears grind, the engine chokes, and the car lurches forward and destroys whatever's in front of it. This mechanical metaphor perfectly captures why we need to pause. It literally spares us a lifetime of regret. Because words, once they escape the engine and are out in the wild, well, you can't ever get them back. Section 2. A history of unruly tongues. From ancient sparks to modern engines. Now, you might be thinking this shiny, chrome automotive metaphor is some modern invention. But actually, scratch that. It's just a 20th century update to a really ancient, timeless human dilemma. Let's trace it back. Way before pistons and transmission belts, ancient Greek philosophers were warning people about the dangers of an untamed tongue. By the 1st century, biblical writers in the book of James were describing the tongue as this tiny spark that could torch an entire forest. Fast forward to October 1967, and researchers at a Michigan folklore archive found the exact phrase, "Have your mind in gear before you put your mouth in motion," echoing across workshop floors in Ferndale. The tech changed, sure, but the human struggle, exactly the same. To really grasp the stakes here, we have to look at the crazy contrast and how words are actually wielded. On one side, we've got constructive, intentional rhetoric. Think about Abraham Lincoln at Gettysburg, JFK's inaugural address, or Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech. These were incredibly deliberate words that uplifted humanity and quite literally reshaped the world. On the flip side, we have destructive, impulsive speech. That thoughtless rhetoric acts exactly like that tiny biblical spark we just talked about, setting off a raging forest fire of hurt feelings, damaged relationships, and just deep societal division. But okay, let's bring this down from the world stage to something a bit more relatable, like our daily lives. The Lawrence Journal world captured this dynamic perfectly with a few funny, superhuman anecdotes. Take Marcia. Her husband warned her not to confuse the tachometer with the speedometer on their new car. She desperately wanted to snap back with some sarcastic comment about how dumb he thought she was, but amazingly, she actually found the rare discipline to just hold her tongue. Or take her friend Emily. Emily ran out of gas on the highway. When a family finally pulled over to help, she impulsively blurted out to the dad, "Would you care to leave a hostage?" Like, what? The dad actually left his kid. So Emily is stuck on the side of the road wondering what on earth to do with this child. It's hilarious, but it really shows how wildly our impulsive brains can betray us if we aren't careful. Section 3. The THINK method. The daily struggle to pause. So what does this all mean for us? How do we conquer this daily struggle to just pause? I mean, how often have you been asked to volunteer for some crazy difficult task and your mouth goes, "Yes, absolutely," while your brain is internally screaming, "No, no, no." We need a practical tool here. Enter Dr. Neil Weirich's THINK acronym. It's a brilliant, completely actionable checklist for modern communication. Before you speak, literally spell out THINK. T, is it true or just some distorted rumor? H, is it helpful? Like, will it clear the air or just pollute it? I, is it inspiring? N, is it necessary to spread this? And K, is it kind? You can use this as a rapid-fire 3-step mental checklist. Step 1, verify if what you're about to say is actually true and helpful. Step 2, check if it's inspiring and necessary. But step 3, this is the big one. It's the ultimate filter. Does it cut to the heart of kindness? If what you're about to let slip past your lips isn't kind, well, that's a glaring red signal to keep that mental clutch pressed firmly to the floor. This vividly brings back another awesome ancient metaphor. Think about it. A tiny bit in the mouth of a massive, powerful horse controls the whole animal. A ridiculously small rudder on a huge ship, when steered by a skilled captain, sets a safe course no matter how violent the winds are. Your tongue is that rudder. A tiny little bit of discipline can steer your massive human potential away from absolute wreckage. Section 4. 2 ears and 1 mouth. Final reflections. So, as we bring everything together, from Papa Q Bear's automotive wisdom all the way to the THINK method, the main takeaways are super clear. First, repetition is key. Repeating a hard-to-do phrase like "put your mind in gear" is exactly how it becomes a part of you. Second, you have got to actively engage that mental clutch before hitting the verbal accelerator. Third, remember that while words themselves are completely free, using them carelessly is so expensive to your career and your friendships. And finally, you just cannot retrieve words once they're released into the wild. Which leaves us with one final piece of wisdom. He also loved the 2 ears and 1 mouth, used in that proportion, saying too. Certainly, listening before speaking is one of the most practical pieces of wisdom he ever shared. I guess I liked to run my mouth when I was younger, though this is a universally good lesson. So as you go about your day, I'll leave you with this provocative thought. In a world that constantly demands our immediate, explosive reactions, what could you learn today if you simply decided to listen twice as much as you speak? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.